Welcome to another Ziva Math video. In this video, we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem to find the distance between 2 points. The Pythagorean theorem states that the sum of the squares of the sides of a right triangle is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. It's expressed using the formula a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where a and b are the lengths of the sides of the triangle and c is the length of the hypotenuse. And we can use this theorem to find the distance between 2 points. Let's take a look at our examples. I need to find the distance between these 2 points. And to find the distance between those 2 points, I need to find the length of the line that connects those 2 points. And one way to do this is to form a right triangle. And once I form a right triangle, then I can use the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, to find the distance between those 2 points. Because the distance between those 2 points is the length of this line, and we can let that be c because it is the hypotenuse of this right triangle that we just drew. Now I need an a and a b. And I can find the side length here simply by counting the length of this line. Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. The length of that side is 4, and I can let that be a. And I can find the side length of this side of my triangle just by counting. It's 1, 2. So the length of that side is 2, and that has to be b because my other side length was a. Now I have the values to plug into my formula. So a squared is 4 squared plus b was 2, so 4 squared plus 2 squared equals c squared. And 4 squared, 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2 squared, 2 times 2 is 4, equals c squared. 16 plus 4 is 20, so 20 equals c squared. And we do have to solve for c. And to solve for c, we have to take the square root. If I take the square root of the right-hand side, I have to take the square root of the left-hand side as well. So the square root of c squared is c, and the square root of 20 is 4 and 47 hundredths. So the distance between those 2 points is 4 and 47 hundredths. So I want to find the distance between these 2 points, and I'm going to use the Pythagorean theorem to do that. The distance between these 2 points is the length of the line that connects them. And I can draw in these 2 other lines and create a right triangle. And once I do that, that allows me to use the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, to find the distance between those 2 points. And the distance between those 2 points is the distance or the length of this line. And we're going to label that line C because that line is across from the right angle. It's the longest side of this triangle, so it's the hypotenuse, so it must be labeled C. Then in order to use the Pythagorean theorem, I need an A and a B. To find A, I can count the length of this side of the triangle. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the length of that side of the triangle is 9, and I can let that be A. To find B, I'm going to determine the length of this side of the triangle. And so that length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the length of that side of the triangle is 8, and I'm going to let that be B. Now that I have A and B, I can plug those values into my formula. Well, A was 9, so I have 9 squared, plus B was 8, so 8 squared equals C squared. 9 squared is 9 times 9, which is 81. B squared is 8 times 8, which is 64, equals C squared. 81 plus 64 is 145, equals c squared. And to solve for c, we have to take the square root. And if I take the square root of the right-hand side, I have to take the square root of the left-hand side. So the square root of c squared is c, and the square root of 145 is 12 and 400ths. So the distance between those 2 points is 12 and 400ths. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to Ziva Math for more videos.